MI6 uncovered, from Secret Service Bureau to modern British intelligence powerhouse. Hello everyone, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Spy Ward Story. The story begins in 1909, time when Europe was bracing for political turmoil and espionage was becoming an essential tool for national security. The British government recognized the urgent need for a dedicated organization to gather intelligence abroad. This led to the creation of the Secret Service Bureau, the foundation upon which MI6 would eventually emerge. Initially, the Bureau was split into two branches. One focused on domestic security, which became MI5, and the other on foreign intelligence, which developed into MI6, tasked with protecting British interests on the global stage. At the helm of the new foreign section was Mansfield Smith Cumming, a man whose name would become synonymous with British espionage. Known simply as C, he brought discipline, secrecy, and a vision that would define the agency for decades. Under his leadership, MI6 began recruiting skilled operatives capable of operating across Europe's shifting political landscape, laying the groundwork for the sophisticated spy networks that would later prove crucial in world conflicts. During World War I, MI6 expanded rapidly. The agency coordinated espionage operations across Germany, France, and neutral countries, focusing on intercepting enemy communications, managing spies behind enemy lines, and gathering intelligence on troop movements and military plans. These early operations demonstrated the critical importance of human intelligence, the information gathered by agents in the field, often at great personal risk. The Bureau's work was complemented by emerging technical departments, which began experimenting with signal interception, codes, and cryptography, foreshadowing the technological arms race of later decades. The interwar period tested MI6's adaptability. With the Great War over, Europe was in political flux. MI6 shifted its focus to monitoring the rise of new powers, including a re-emerging Germany, the Soviet Union, and other European nations. Intelligence gathering became more complex, combining traditional spycraft with emerging technological methods. The agency built relationships with foreign intelligence services, established networks of agents and informants, and honed techniques in deception, surveillance, and counterintelligence. One of MI6's defining characteristics during these formative years was its secretive and decentralized structure. While C oversaw operations from London, individual stations across Europe operated with considerable autonomy, a system that allowed the agency to respond quickly to threats while maintaining strict operational secrecy. This balance between centralized leadership and field autonomy became a hallmark of MI6, enabling it to survive wars, political upheavals, and the constant evolution of espionage techniques. By the late 1930s, MI6 had transformed from a small bureau of intelligence enthusiasts into a professional foreign intelligence organization with global reach. Its operatives were embedded in embassies, ports, and cities across Europe, capable of gathering strategic information vital for national security. They were trained not just in espionage, but in the arts of language, culture, and psychology, skills that would allow them to operate effectively in diverse environments. MI6's early story is one of vision, adaptation, and daring. From a secret bureau in London to an agency capable of influencing international events, it laid the foundation for the modern British intelligence community. This rise set the stage for the agency's critical role in the global conflicts to come, including the monumental challenges of World War II. Stay tuned as we continue our journey in the next part of this documentary series, diving into Fire in the Shadows, MI6 in World War II, where the agency faced its ultimate tests and forged alliances that would shape the modern intelligence world. And don't forget to comment below where you are watching from. Subscribe to Spy Ward Story for more deep dives into espionage history, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest episodes. Hello everyone, assalamu alaikum once again, and welcome back to Spy Ward Story. Today, we journey into one of the most critical chapters in MI6 history, World War II. when the agency moved from its formative years into the heart of global conflict, shaping the course of the war through espionage, deception, and daring operations. By 1939, Europe was on the brink of war. MI6 had already established a web of networks across Germany, France, and neutral nations. But the outbreak of World War II demanded rapid expansion and greater sophistication. These agents often operated in hostile environments, relying on cunning, courage, and complete secrecy to survive. One of the agency's most significant contributions was in the realm of cryptography. MI6 collaborated with allies to decode enemy communications, most famously cooperating with British codebreakers at Bletchley Park, where the infamous Enigma machine was being deciphered. This intelligence, known as Ultra, provided the Allies with crucial information that changed the course of battles and, ultimately, the war. MI6 also coordinated with European resistance networks, supporting underground movements in France, the Netherlands, and Scandinavia. Agents acted as liaisons, providing funding, training, and intelligence, while couriers smuggled information across borders in the dead of night. Deception played a central role in MI6 operations. The agency orchestrated false intelligence campaigns, creating dummy units, fake radio transmissions, and misleading reports to confuse German forces. These sophisticated ruses required coordination with other intelligence organizations, including MI5, the SOE Special Operations Executive, and Allied Services, exemplifying the growing interconnectivity of global espionage networks. The wartime years also marked the rise of legendary MI6 operatives, whose bravery and ingenuity became the stuff of espionage lore. From field agents gathering critical intelligence to highly skilled couriers navigating occupied territories, MI6 relied on human intelligence combined with technical expertise to maintain a strategic advantage. Through these years, MI6 demonstrated that effective intelligence was not just about information, but about trust, coordination, and strategic foresight. The agency's network spanned continents, its agents faced unimaginable dangers, and its successes had a direct impact on the outcome of World War II. By the end of the war, MI6 had firmly established itself as a professional intelligence organization capable of operating globally under extreme conditions. The lessons learned, the networks built, and the technological advancements achieved during these years laid the foundation for the agency's future role in the Cold War and beyond. Remember to comment below where you are watching from, subscribe to Spyward Story for more behind-the-scenes intelligence stories, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Up next, we'll step into the tense arena of the Cold War in the Cold War chessboard. MI6 versus the Soviet bloc, exploring the agency's strategic battles in a new world divided by ideology. The Cold War, where MI6 faced its greatest ideological and strategic challenge, the Soviet Union and the Eastern Bloc. In this era, espionage was no longer just about battlefield advantage. It became a global chess game, with lives, secrets, and entire nations at stake. By the late 1940s, the world had dramatically changed. World War II was over, but Europe was divided. The Iron Curtain fell across the continent, separating democratic nations from communist regimes. MI6, already a seasoned intelligence agency from its wartime experience, now had to operate in a landscape dominated by paranoia, surveillance, and the constant threat of Soviet infiltration. Its mission expanded from simple information gathering to strategic influence, counterintelligence, and high-stakes deception. One of MI6's most notable operations during this period was the monitoring of Soviet scientific and military developments, particularly in nuclear technology. The agency meticulously collected intelligence on research labs, weapons programs, and industrial facilities behind the Iron Curtain. MI6 agents, often disguised as businessmen, journalists, or diplomats, navigated heavily guarded cities like Moscow, Warsaw, and Berlin, using ingenuity, charm, and careful planning to extract critical information. The Berlin Spy Tunnel, a daring operation, exemplified the audacity and technical brilliance of MI6 during the early Cold War. Undercover engineers and agents tunneled beneath the Soviet-controlled sector of Berlin to tap communication lines, gathering high-value intelligence on troop movements and operational orders. Though fraught with danger, the operation demonstrated MI6's ability to combine human intelligence with cutting-edge technology, a formula that would define the agency for decades. MI6's focus was not limited to Europe. Its agents actively engaged in industrial and scientific espionage, tracking technological advancements that could shift the balance of power. Collaborations with emerging allies, particularly the CIA, became crucial. Through early intelligence sharing agreements, MI6 and CIA agents exchanged information on Soviet strategies, coordinated operations, and built networks to counteract communist influence globally. These partnerships, however, required delicate diplomacy and mutual trust, as both agencies navigated secrecy, insurgency rivalries, and the constant threat of double agents. At the human level, MI6 operatives faced intense psychological pressure. The stakes were enormous. A single mistake could result in imprisonment, torture, or death. Agents relied on advanced training in psychology, interrogation, disguise, and surveillance techniques, allowing them to blend seamlessly into foreign environments. The Cold War also emphasized the importance of counterintelligence. Identifying moles, double agents, and traitors within one's own ranks became a constant priority. Notable successes and failures in this arena shaped MI6's internal security protocols for generations. Throughout this period, MI6 operated with a combination of strategic foresight, adaptability, and clandestine expertise. The agency monitored not only military capabilities, but also political developments, economic vulnerabilities, and social movements that could influence global power dynamics. By cultivating an extensive network of contacts and informants across Europe and beyond, MI6 ensured it remained a step ahead of the Soviet bloc in a game where information was the most valuable currency. The Cold War also ushered in significant organizational changes. MI6 expanded its technical and communications departments, adopting emerging technologies like advanced radio interception, encryption systems, and early computer-assisted intelligence analysis. These innovations allowed agents in the field to operate more efficiently and transmit information securely across continents. By the end of the 1960s, MI6 had firmly established itself as a global intelligence powerhouse, capable of influencing international events from behind the shadows. Its Cold War operations not only protected British national interests, but also shaped alliances, informed policy decisions, and preserved a balance of power in a world threatened by ideological conflict. Itself, to understand how this legendary agency functions on a daily basis, we need to explore its structure, leadership, recruitment, and the secret systems that allow it to operate globally while remaining almost entirely invisible. At the very top of MI6 is the enigmatic figure known only as C, the Chief of the Secret Intelligence Service. Since Mansfield Smith coming the first C during the early 20th century, the leadership of MI6 has embodied secrecy, strategic vision, and the ability to navigate both political and operational challenges. Today's chief continues this legacy, overseeing operations worldwide while maintaining a veil of absolute confidentiality. Even within the British government, the chief's true identity is protected, illustrating the extreme measures taken to shield the agency's leadership from public or foreign scrutiny. The organizational structure of MI6 is meticulously designed to balance operational efficiency with tight security. The agency is divided into multiple departments, each with a specialized focus: operations, intelligence analysis, technical support, communications, and counterintelligence. While field agents conduct missions abroad, analysts in London process information, identify patterns, and generate actionable intelligence for policymakers. Technical departments develop encryption, surveillance, and cyber capabilities to support operatives in hostile environments. This division of labor ensures that MI6 can function as a cohesive global network without exposing vulnerabilities. One of MI6's most carefully guarded secrets is its recruitment and training system. Potential operatives are selected based on intelligence, adaptability, psychological resilience, and language skills. Recruitment is often discreet, with candidates approached through universities, professional networks, or government services. Once selected, agents undergo rigorous training, including advanced surveillance techniques, hand-to-hand combat, cyber operations, cryptography, and fieldcraft. They are taught to operate independently, make split-second decisions under pressure, and blend seamlessly into foreign society's skills that often determine life or death in real-world missions. MI6 also places great emphasis on internal security. Counterintelligence measures are embedded throughout the organization to detect moles, double agents, and potential security breaches. Every department is compartmentalized, meaning operatives and analysts often know only the information relevant to their specific tasks. This need-to-know principle prevents the compromise of entire networks if a single agent is exposed. The agency's budget and resources reflect its strategic priorities, while exact figures remain classified. MI6 invests heavily in both human and technological assets, ensuring that field operatives have the tools necessary to operate safely and effectively. From high-tech gadgets to encrypted communication systems, these resources form the backbone of MI6's global intelligence operations. Beyond operations and technology, MI6's culture emphasizes discretion, loyalty, and professionalism. Agents are expected to maintain anonymity, uphold ethical standards, and navigate the complex political landscapes of host nations. Field reports, mission debriefs, and analytical assessments are carefully monitored and verified, ensuring that policymakers receive accurate and actionable intelligence. Finally, MI6's inner workings reveal a sophisticated balance between tradition and innovation. While rooted in over a century of espionage history, the agency constantly evolves to address new threats, whether political, technological, or social. Training programs now include cyber intelligence, digital surveillance, and psychological operations, reflecting the modern intelligence environment. By understanding the inner structure, recruitment methods, and secretive operations of MI6, we gain insight into why this agency has maintained its position as one of the world's most effective intelligence organizations. Its success is not just measured by the missions it executes, but by the intricate systems, people, and culture that allow it to function invisible yet omnipresent, shaping global events from behind the shadows. During the decades following the Cold War, MI6 expanded its focus to include global counterterrorism, international organized crime, and emerging cyber threats. Operatives were embedded not only in European capitals, but across Asia, the Middle East, Africa, and the Americas. These agents worked quietly, gathering intelligence on hostile networks, monitoring suspicious movements, and reporting actionable information to London. Many of these missions were high stakes and highly confidential, requiring discretion, patience, and precision. MI6's international networks are vast and meticulously maintained. In collaboration with allies such as the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, including the United States, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, MI6 shared critical intelligence, coordinated operations, and ensured global security cooperation. These partnerships allowed agents to operate seamlessly across borders, access advanced technological resources, and benefit from shared intelligence databases while maintaining operational secrecy. Field operations often required MI6 agents to infiltrate hostile organizations, gather evidence, and monitor activities without detection. Couriers and communication specialists transported intelligence across continents, often using ingenious methods like dead drops, coded messages, and encrypted communications. Even as digital technology advanced, MI6 maintained these traditional methods. Recognizing their reliability in environments where technology could be compromised, Historically significant missions illustrate MI6's ability to adapt to emerging threats. The agency contributed to counterterrorism efforts during international crises, monitored rogue networks attempting to destabilize governments, and tracked clandestine weapons programs. These operations demanded careful coordination with other intelligence and law enforcement agencies, including NATO partners, to ensure accurate information reached decision-makers without jeopardizing the operative's safety. MI6 also focused on technical and digital intelligence. With the rise of the Internet and cyber warfare, the agency invested heavily in cybersecurity, signal interception, and intelligence analysis systems. Agents in the field now combine traditional human intelligence skills with advanced cyber capabilities, monitoring communications, identifying digital threats, and protecting British interests from emerging technological dangers. At the heart of these missions are the agents themselves, highly trained individuals who navigate political, cultural, and physical dangers daily. Their work often goes unrecognized, and success is measured not in public accolades, but in the prevention of crises, the protection of lives, and the strategic advantage of the United Kingdom. Each operation, whether in a distant city or a hostile environment, reflects MI6's ability to execute missions with precision, patience, and secrecy. Despite the secrecy, certain non-sensitive operations have been documented over the years, revealing the scale and complexity of MI6's work. These stories highlight not only daring fieldwork, but also the careful planning, analysis, and technical innovation required to maintain a global intelligence network capable of responding to fast-moving threats anywhere in the world. The agency's global reach, from major capitals to remote regions, demonstrates MI6's continued commitment to anticipating threats, building partnerships, and maintaining strategic influence. Its success lies in the seamless integration of intelligence gathering, operational planning, and international cooperation, all executed quietly, without public awareness, but with profound impact on global security. Remember to comment below where you are watching from. Subscribe to Spy Ward Story for more deep dives into the covert operations that shape our world, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. In the modern era, MI6 faces threats unlike any previous generation. Cyber warfare, artificial intelligence, digital surveillance, and global terrorism have redefined the landscape of intelligence. Agents now operate not only in physical environments but also in virtual domains, monitoring online communications, tracking cyber threats, and countering misinformation campaigns. The agency's technical divisions have evolved to handle these challenges, developing tools for secure communication, encrypted data transmission, and real-time intelligence analysis. Collaboration remains at the core of MI6's operations. Alliances such as Five Eyes, NATO intelligence partnerships, and bilateral agreements allow the agency to share insights, respond to global crises, and anticipate emerging threats. This cooperation ensures that MI6 remains effective in a highly interconnected world where information flows instantly across borders. MI6's role in global security has also become more transparent to the public, though its core operations remain highly classified. Official communications, selective releases, and occasional media reporting provide glimpses into the agency's contributions to counterterrorism, national defense, and international stability. Yet, even in the digital age, secrecy remains essential. A single leak could compromise missions, endanger lives, and undermine national security. The agency continues to innovate in training and recruitment, combining traditional espionage skills with modern technologies. Agents are now trained in cyber intelligence, data analysis, psychological operations, and advanced surveillance techniques. Language proficiency, cultural knowledge, and strategic thinking remain vital, ensuring operatives can navigate complex international environments effectively. MI6 has also entered the realm of popular culture, inspiring films, novels, and documentaries, while Hollywood often dramatizes spy operations. The reality of MI6's work is far more disciplined, calculated, and high stakes. By understanding the truth behind the myths, we gain a realistic picture of how intelligence shapes global events without glamour or exaggeration. Looking ahead, the future of MI6 involves adapting to emerging technologies and evolving threats. Artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and global data systems will redefine how intelligence is collected, analyzed, and acted upon. Yet, even as tools change, the core principles of MI6 discretion, loyalty, strategic foresight, and human intelligence will continue to guide its operations. Before we conclude, we want to remind our viewers this documentary is based on information from verified and credible sources. Spy Ward Story provides this content solely for informational and educational purposes. We do not support or endorse any group, organization, or ideology mentioned. Our aim is to present factual intelligence history responsibly and neutrally. We also encourage you to engage with us. Comment below where you are watching from. Share your thoughts on MI6 and global intelligence, and subscribe to Spy Ward Story to stay updated on all future episodes. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into the secretive world of espionage. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more explorations of history, espionage, and the hidden forces that shape our world.